I'm going to have to interrupt you there. I'm very sorry. We're going to take you live now to John Barilaro.
48 hours, 24 hours, very tough when you're making personal decisions around your career. And, you know, a lot has been written, and some political commentators have written some very generous comments about me over the past few days, which is humbling. The polling showed that I could win. But sometimes in this game, you let ego get in the way of good decisions, and I've got to make the best decision for me, my family, for the people of New South Wales, more importantly for the people of Eden Monaro. They've been through hell and back with the fires, COVID, drought. And the last thing we need is an argy-bargy about what is right for that seat. But for me, this has been a decision about what I can contribute. And as a state member, it's clear, and as the Deputy Premier, it's clear that, you know, what I've contributed to the state, I can still work for the people of New South Wales, and I can support the people of Eden Monaro. As their state member already, you know, my promise is that I'll work for them. As always, and I'm humbled by my community who elected me last year. And for those that are in the broader Eden Monaro, I mean, I'm going to work diligently, not only as a state member, but as the Deputy Premier, to make sure that whatever happens going forward, not only we fix the issues today, but we of course have an incredible future tomorrow for our kids. I love New South Wales. I love what I do. I mean, it's been an incredible journey, and I'm not ready to let that go here in New South Wales. You know, the Premier has been generous and caring in her commentary over the last few days, supportive in whatever I chose to do, and I want to say thank you. But to my National Party colleagues, both state and federal, encouraging me either way. But, you know, this was a decision I said I'll take on the weekend. I did that. You know, I had the opportunity on the weekend down at the farm to build a cubby house with my little 4.5-year-old, and I had fun. She reminded me about life being fun and silly, and I'm comfortable being the Deputy Premier and the state leader, and I've got a lot to contribute. So I'm looking forward to that, looking forward to supporting this community, and all the best for those that put their hand forward for Eden Monaro. More importantly, for the people of Eden Monaro, just know that you haven't been forgotten. We'll be working hard for you regardless, and continue on the footsteps of Mike Kelly, and continue on the footsteps of course, all those that have gone before you. We've been very lucky in the Eden Monaro and Monaro electorates, where we've had always good representation from both sides. That was irrelevant if there was a poll between Andrew and I, but it's about what is right for the people of Eden Monaro, and that's what my decision is based on.
Has he played you? Sorry? Has he played you? Do you feel betrayed by him at all?
No, not at all. As I said, Andrew and I have spoken right throughout this. He knew exactly where my head was at. We spoke last night. We touched base this morning. We've spoken over the last few days, and if anyone wants to try and put a wedge between Andrew and I, good luck to him, but I know the friendship that I have with Andrew.
For a long time. It's been long speculated. It must be pretty emotional for you to stand up this morning and admit it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it is emotional in a sense that, you know, for a long time you think that maybe you've got an opportunity to contribute to the national agenda, and I can do that at a state level, but, you know, this is the right thing to do. I'm at peace with myself today. I'm at peace with the decision because, the focus now is that the crisis we're facing, the issues that I've been fighting for, they don't change. You know, I'll still be a commentator from the sidelines in relation to those issues federally, and whoever wins Eden Monaro, you'll be held to account by me as the state member. I hope I can build a friendship with you, as I did with Mike Kelly. Mike Kelly's a mate. We built a friendship, and Mike and I have done something that you don't often do in politics, is create friendships across the political aisle. And for me, that is something that I'll take away. And it is, look, an emotional day. It'll be a hard day that I've withdrawn from the race, not because I didn't think I could do it, but more, I think it's the right thing for me personally. And of course, the Nats at a state level, and for me, for my family, and actually to everyone that supported me. It's an incredible journey, and I'm just humbled. I mean, how many people could be actually the Deputy Premier of New South Wales? And I take that serious, and I'll keep fighting for the state that I love, and that is New South Wales.
Putting Andrew Constance aside, though, John, do you feel that the Liberals have disappointed you in the way they've handled this?
Well, you know, the Liberals wanted to be vocal about it, but they're entitled to. You know, they're entitled to fight for what they believe is right. Eden Monaro has gone to either Liberal or the Labor Party for a very long time, and they have every right to say that they had every right to run. And I don't hold any grudges against anyone in relation to the fighting for their community. And if you're putting your hand forward for the right reason, that is for the people of Eden Monaro, that you believe you can deliver the best outcome for the people in New South Wales, well, everyone's entitled to have that. And for me, you know, whatever happens next, just because I'm not running, it doesn't necessarily mean that the National Party won't decide to run a candidate because at the end of the day, it's for the executive, not for me. I'm just withdrawing as a possible candidate.
You're just a guidelines now, as you say. So, should the National Party run a candidate, firstly, and secondly, should the Liberal Party run Jim Molan or Andrew Constance?
Oh, look, it's up to the Liberal Party in their pre-selection, but everyone knows in my commentary, I'm a fan of Andrew Constance. I think Andrew Constance can win the seat, and the Liberal Party needs to pick the best candidate. And if the Nats run or not, it's not my decision. It'll be up to the executive of the National Party to make that decision, and I'll leave that to them. If any other candidates in the National Party, our grassroots members, want to put their name forward, we should always allow that to happen.
Can get in the way of big decisions like this. Who's got the ego?
Oh, no, look, when you start reading about yourself in the press, and there's some remarkable pieces that appeared in the media over the last few days, are really, pointing to me being the person that could actually go federal, do the right thing, be a great candidate, great member, possible leader. I mean, when you start reading that sort of stuff and then you start reading the polls, you can start believing in yourself that you're maybe better than what you think. And for me, ego and titles have never been part of who I am. It's always about outcomes. And I just the easiest decision today could have been to run. I think that was the expectation from everybody. And when the polls and of course Sportsbet have you as the favourite, the easiest decision is to run. That is ego. I actually looked inside myself about what was the right decision across a whole heap of issues, not just a career, but my life. And I've come up with a decision today that I'm at peace with. Thank you.
Thanks.
There you go, John Barilaro confirming via statement then to the media that he will not be running, saying he is great mates with Andrew Constance and nothing's going to get in the way of that. He said perhaps ego got in the way there. He still believes he could have won, but he's not going to be a candidate in the Eden-Monaro by-election. He's long held ambitions to go to Canberra, but he'll be staying as the Deputy Premier of New South Wales. Not a bad consolation prize. Coming up, Westpac reveals it.